With the Charmin Bears, did that seem familiar to you? It seemed familiar to me. I thought I was seeing the future again, but here they ripped off Joel Haver. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I saw some articles about that.
What
is
do you
this?
think of that?
I think it's happened a lot with SNL, and it continues to happen where they're doing sketches that are very familiar. And yeah, I think I don't think they're outright stealing. I think someone saw it and then it like got in their head. I don't know, but it happens all the time with SNL. They've
Okay, so not a big deal.
I mean, it's a big deal to that guy.
It's not
but
a new accusation
yeah,
for SNL.
right?
Okay, that's kind of my concern. If Bill, I could just throw one more thing at you.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit worried about their writing. I feel like they kind of need help. So I'm thinking Cleveland home base. We already got 2 stars in there. Let's get a third. Dan Myron Handelman. His dad was a famous comedian. It was Neil. Who's the
Rube Star, when did you get to be the big Saturday Night Live aficionado?
Oh, it's very recent. This is very current.
I was going to say
Marcelo got on.
There's no one more insane than a recent convert to anything.
Okay. Well, hey, let me tell you something, Alan. Sometimes you and I don't talk so good. So tomorrow I'm going over to my girlfriend's house. I'm going to have her talk to you, so maybe you and her can understand what's going on a little bit better.
We don't talk so good. I think you're the one that might not talk so good. Rube Star.
Right, that's why you're going to talk to Sherry Lou. I'm going to put you on the phone with Sherry tomorrow.
I'm not talking to your girlfriend, Rube Star.
Why not?
Why would I? I don't know her.
That's okay. Her first husband has your birthday. She's used to people like you. She can handle you. I cannot. Bill, this is what I'm worried about.
Oh, no.
I had to play him off. Rube Star, I'm so sorry. It's time constraints and whatnot.
Rube Star, just send me
calls to talk to you, but I'm going to be relegated to talking to his girlfriend. Is that what's happening? Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Looks like Fonzie's back in the room now.
Why you call me Fonzie?
I walk out there in the break. Mary's leaning up against the wall like this. She's leaning up against the wall on the phone. She's got her foot on the wall.
Yeah, I cleaned it off.
Yeah.
She leaves a sneaker print on the new walls at the radio station.
I didn't even think that didn't even
That's my
enter
point.
my mind.
You're making my case for me. It didn't even enter my mind that my dirty, skanky shoes would leave a mark.
These are like the least skanky shoes I own.
Because the bottoms, we're all walking around in downtown Cleveland.
Whatever.
It didn't even occur to me that I'd leave a footprint on the wall.
Why would that happen?
You're like talking to my kid at home. I go, don't put your feet on the wall. She's 6.
Yeah, well, what do you want me to do?
Not put your feet on the wall.
God.
Mary likes to talk with her feet elevated.
You know how they talk about Italians
Yeah.
talk with their hands? She likes to talk with her feet
And
on
there's
the
nothing
wall.
I can do about that. I have a lot of jobs to do, and I'm
There's
juggling.
nothing I can do about not putting my feet on our walls here at work.
I didn't even realize I was standing like that until you said something.
Yeah.
Like, I just stand that way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So don't come at me like this. When I'm just trying to schedule a termite inspection.
This is a place of business, Mary.
You guys have termites?
Yes. Dude,
Yes, because she puts her feet on the walls and
nothing to do
termites
with it.
jump from her
Tracks
shoes.
them in.
That's
It
right.
literally has nothing to do.
You
with
don't
any of
know
it.
that. How do you know how termites? Everything you're going to know about termites, you're going to learn from this inspection.
Mm-hmm.
You have termites
Yeah, I
at
guess.
Casa Bryan
We went,
shortly after you moved in. I mean,
I don't think you bring
I don't
termites
believe
with you.
I don't believe in fate. Again, you and I probably know the exact same amount
Also,
of termites, which is next to nothing.
I've lived there for 8 months. So
That's
I don't know.
8 months.
Finally
That's-
hatched.
It finally happened. I know you believe in fate. I believe in coincidence, and I think there's no coincidence that shortly after you move in, termites show up to eat the wood.
We're not having a good.
When you're not eating the wood, those termites are eating the wood.
It's taken after me, you know? No, we're not having a good run with the house. We had a guy come over, a friend of mine, her and her husband own a roofing business, and they were going to put like heating coils on because we get ice dams. And so they get over there, and he's like up on the roof, and he's like, hey, I'm not trying to sell you a new roof, but this is a piece of trash.
That always means I'm trying to sell you a new roof.
He's like, I came over here just to do the heating coils like you asked, and it's really bad up here. Like, you guys are going to need a new roof in the next year or two.
There's no leaks or anything.
There are leaks, which is
there
why
are leaks.
Brian thought it was from ice dam buildup, and he's basically like, you need a new roof. Like, we can do the heating coils, but you're going to need
What
it
does a new
eventually.
roof cost?
Like $9,000.
Get one of them metal roofs. Those are at least 3 times the cost.
Yeah, even better.
Is he going to use like his grandma's, death money to pay for that? Because didn't he get like $10,000?
Death money.
He did. He got like $10,000. He got like a $10,000 check.
He's recalling your act.
You're first of all, you're quoting my stand-up act, which is wildly exaggerated, and that was 2 years ago, is what that bit is referencing. So that money is long gone.
Okay, don't you have $10,000 in your savings account?
Pay for our roof.
Why don't you lend that to Mary?
I have negative $10,000 in my bank.
You had $10,000 all saved up. What happened?
It went to bills. It went to vacation.
$10,000?
I
didn't get any of that money.
I never got to $10,000.
It went to various bills in the Cleveland area.
No, I never got to $10,000. That was the goal.
I thought that you were like, you said, okay, you didn't get there, but I thought you made it sound like you were just shy of $10,000.
The highest I ever got was like $7,000, and that was good, but life hits. Like, I had a lot of my stuff because I didn't have good insurance. I had some, but I didn't have good ones. I needed procedures since I hadn't had dental work.
Wait. Oh, okay. Dentist stuff. Okay.
I had dental work.
You said procedures. I thought maybe
I did. You
didn't tell us.
I had
like pec implants.
No, this was years ago, Alan. This was
you have been. I'm not talking a decade back. I'm not talking about before you were on the show.
2019 and
Erica was still on the show, and you were saying, I almost have $10,000 in the bank.
At that time, I probably did, but
Yeah.
2019 and 2020, a lot of it depleted my savings because of medical procedures. 2019, I had to get dental stuff done.
That's fine. You don't have to explain.
2020 was my ears.
You don't owe me an explanation. I was just curious.
Well, he gets all his medical procedures from Uber Eats as well. So that adds on to the price.
Yeah,
here's your truffle fries, and here's the quote on your crowns.
Yes, but that equals out because I don't buy groceries, so I'm not necessarily spending more than I have. But then when I had to have like those cysts on my eye, I had like a cyst on my eyelid that I had to get rid of. I had it twice.
Bro, I watch so many YouTube and TikTok videos.
Let
I can
Bill
do
do
some
it.
of these procedures for you. And my TikTok's monetized. I'll give you half of the $6 I earn.
When we do Mary Act videos, that's not just for fun. That's for instructional purposes. That's when we're showing those. Bill is also studying them, going over them with a fine-toothed comb, by the way. Let him do some of your more delicate procedures.
No.
All right.
But those...
Bill's the only one in this room who's had a sty. He's going to know more than any of us.
Mine wasn't a sty. It was a chalice station.
And mine wasn't a sty either. And
Chalice station. I believe that's called an altar.
Calazion.
Calazion.
Calazion. That's one of Nick
Can't take it
Cannon's
with you,
kids.
Calazion.
Yeah, it was in my eyelid, and I couldn't get it out. And then it was so weird how they did the procedure because they had to hold my eyelid open with like a little I don't know,
a Clockwork Orange clip.
Yeah, and then
I would have used that.
They had a little tool that had a flame on it and a scalpel.
It's called a match.
Yep.
And no, it wasn't. It wasn't a match. But they're literally burning my eye and cutting it open at the same time. And
exactly how I would have done it to save you so much money.
Very medieval.
And then the fact that she was making noises while she opened it up, she was like,
I beatbox while I do it.
She was like, oh my God, Denise, look how it just flowed out of there. Like all the pus and stuff. I was like, ew.
I can't believe Bill has to sell you on this. He's going toe to toe with these people. He's checking every single box. And he'll charge you probably a quarter of what they charged you. He has matches. He has hooks.
I think they're more sanitary, though.
He has gloves. Sanitary.
He can wash his hands.
I spit on all the utensils and wipe them off on my shirt. That's not sanitary, then I don't want to know what sanitary is.
He stores them in Barbicide and then takes them out. All right, so that's you. Mary has got big problems with this roof.
Yes. So I guess.
So Brian's like, you better sell some foot pics.
Why?
You better get them feet online, baby.
I guess when he moved in, they said that the roof was only 2 years old, but they had only reshingled it 2 years ago. So, and they didn't even take the old shingles off. They
Are
just
you
put
trying
new
to
ones
say
on
that
top of it.
people who were selling a house
lied,
stretched the truth
Yeah.
to make the sale?
Yeah.
What?
Because our friend was like, this roof is easily 8-10 years old. The one underneath. The shingles, yes. The top shingles, brand new. The actual roof itself, you're going to need a new one here very soon. So we had to deal with that last week.
You're going to have the new shingles pulled up.
I know, right?
That sucks.
So we got that news last week. And then right before I left to go to Boston, it was either Wednesday night or I think it was Wednesday night, Brian was all kinds of huffing and puffing. I was like, what's going on?
You were
And he
having
goes,
sex.
No, he goes, the bottom of like one of the posts on the patio was like frayed out almost, and he like pulled.
Was Boeing?
Bowing. He pulled it off, and I guess a ton of termites fell out, and they were like, there was like a ton, like holes and tunnels or whatever they make. And so he's like, so now on top of the roof, we have to figure out what's going on with these termites, because if they're any further than these posts, we're screwed. So
What about this? Now, I'm sure that the guy will tell you this when you get like the company to come out and figure it out. You know, by the way, this company just had some bed bug company. Maybe we can get a group rate on this deal.
Perfect,
So, yeah, I
yeah.
talked to Keith Hotchkiss. Maybe.
If any of those bed bugs or termites have cysts, let me know.
get in their little eyes.
He likes to practice. It's those fine motor skills that he has.
Impressive.
Yeah. What if they can find a way for the termites to eat the roof? And then that way you won't get charged for the removal of the existing roof. You'll just pay for the installation of the new roof.
I don't think it's like the cartoons where they just eat it in a circle and then dust and then whatever
In
it is
between,
gone.
in the interim, you can have a series of tarps and bungee cords
Sure.
as a makeshift roof. He has homeowners insurance. That's how you pay for a new roof.
Right.
Yes.
If there's something wrong with it, yes.
There is something wrong with it. It's old. It has holes in it.
Right.
Yes.
So
Is there something wrong with the roof? Yes, it has
doesn't work.
holes. It has termites.
Barely roofing right now.
Yeah. So that's why I was on the phone, is that I was waiting on hold with an exterminator
Mm-hmm.
to schedule an appointment, and the exterminator guy was mad at me because I wasn't the homeowner. And I was like, listen, man, my boyfriend's a homeowner. He works like 60-hour weeks.
I'm
and
his
they're not-
assistant, ma'am. Don't
Oh.
worry about my provenance, all right?
I'm like, don't give me crap when you guys aren't open on weekends, and he works from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. When would you like him to call you? They're like, well, we
Yeah.
technically shouldn't even schedule this without his permission. I'm like, okay, then transfer me to somebody else, or I'll do it online when you don't know who's putting
I'm
in the
trying to give you
information.
business,
Right.
by the way.
It's just frustrating where I'm like, really? Because you can tell my voice is not Brian's. You're mad at me right now.
Hello?
Just
Yeah,
be like,
I'm
I am
calling.
Brian.
Uh-huh.
You know what voice I was doing a lot this weekend? The caller has lodged in my head, and I talk to my dog in the caller voice now.
Oh, that blind girl that calls us. Yeah.
I don't even know if I can do it right now, but it just like I go, hey, whoopsie, why are you?
How does that not scare her?
I'm sure that's not annoying at all for your dog.
Oh, it's my.
She's cocking her head back and
Yeah.
forth the whole time.
Thank you for your patience. And after we get done wiping our asses with the Bible, a care team member will be available to answer your call. Alan, you broke my digital recorder. I don't see why everything and everyone has to hate me just because I said I wanted to move to Cleveland. How about this for a slogan for the Cavs? We're on the ball.
Mm-hmm. We're on the ball.
We're on the ball.
Whoopsie, aren't you the cutest little pea baby?
Ew, dude.
Little pea baby, America's next top pea baby.
Sounds like Cartman.
Ew.
America's
Yeah.
next top P baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
so
say
cute.
P.I., but I don't, from the hair.
Day's never finished. Master got me working. Someday Master set me free.
Well, that girl listens to this show, obviously. When I got into work this morning, there were 24 voicemails from her in the Alan Cox Show After Hours line. Maybe she'll hear you talk about this, and she'll leave some personalized messages for your
Whoopsie.
dog.
That'd be great. I
So
mean, she's already living inside of my brain.
Mhm.
And just
Rent-free, as
when
they
I-
say.
Yeah. So when I wake up and take my dog out for the first time in the morning, it's just, oh, are you a good little pee-pee baby?
So gross.
you got to record. Just leave a recorder. Leave your phone notes on, voice notes, and put your phone on the dining room table or whatever.
I have some.
Just
from-
walk around in the morning, and we can play how you
Yeah.
talk to your dog.
I can do that. It's very disturbing.
Or just
And another thing I've been doing with my dog is, I think I said this on Friday, where I tell her, I'm like, your family's out there, and they're looking for you,
yeah.
and you're not looking for them. What's wrong with you?
You're 9 stories up. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Alan, the gestation period for a termite is 8 months. Coincidence? Now, I don't know
Were
if
those your
that's...
posts on the patio?
It's my wooden leg. I brought him in with my little hobble pirate leg.
I don't even
apparently.
know if that's true, but that's what somebody texted.
The wooden leg that she props against the walls, so there's always a leg on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's how they got in.
Next big storm that comes through, your boy hops up on the roof, tears off a random pattern of shingles. There's your roof damage.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how any of it works.
Say, what happened to your house? I didn't get, are you ready for it, Bill? My house didn't get the shingles vaccine.
No. That's not what it is.
No? You don't want to go with that?
Saturday worked. Brad Upton, he's got a joke. He goes, there's a new dating app for boomers, shingles only.
Yeah, that's right. Is Mary happy that Brian is right that they shouldn't have spent their money on a vacation?
We didn't.
That's their point, because now it's going to get used on the roof.
Well, it wasn't getting used on a vacation either way. Do you understand that?
Oh, that was never.
No, it was getting used on a patio.
It got shut down. Oh, I thought it was still, there was some argument about it.
There's never an argument. I straight up told him, I am not in a good mood today, you guys.
What? Are you sure?
I straight up told him.
You're not just being a normal cranky pants?
I was like, listen, if you want to stay at home because you bought half a patio, then you can do that. I'm taking my own vacation. I don't care.
Mary, why you bugging?
Wow.
But yeah, his money was never being allocated towards a vacation. His money was going toward a patio, which now is being superseded by a roof.
How does your sister?
Possible new front porch.
How's your sister doing on OnlyFans?
Good. She's made some money.
Enough to buy a new roof? What is she
Not
doing
enough
on
to buy a
OnlyFans?
She's doing OnlyFans.
Your sister.
My
the older
younger
hot one or the younger one?
The younger one.
I mean, they're both hot. But
Yeah, they're both hot. My younger sister is doing an OnlyFans, yes. She's got the link in her Instagram.
she's doing an OnlyFans.
She is, whatever you think comes to mind when it's an OnlyFans, that is what she's doing.
Did she give you a free subscription?
I don't want to see it. Not
Well,
even
you
a
already
little bit.
seen all this stuff.
Yeah, but not in like a sex way. Her getting changed in front of me.
No,
is
but you would
different
talk
than-
about how you guys would send each other nudes to send to dudes.
But not like, I don't look at her in a sex way. I'm like, oh, those are nice underwear. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe try to poke your butt out a little more. I'm looking at it like.
Right, but
So you've given her the tips.
Yeah,
She's
and I'm
just
saying,
taken
like-
your recommendations and has synthesized it into something a little more porny.
When she told me she was going to do it, I was like trying to be like, hey, man, just think it through. She's like, I was like, who you promoting
There's no
this
going
to?
back.
And she was like, everyone. People. I was like, so you're just cool with people you know, looking at you doing that. And she's like, yeah, I don't
You
care.
have to be.
She's like,
There's no
That's the
gatekeeper
best way to
for
do
that.
it.
honestly,
If you try and hide it, you don't make any money.
Full
if you
tilt
put it out
boogie.
there, that's when you make money.
her personality, she's always been a very sexual person in general. She's very flirtatious. She's very open with sexuality.
That's why she got a bunch of kids.
Well, yes. And yeah, why she had one at 18. But I think it matches well with what she's doing. I think she's really enjoying it. She's like exploring a different side of her, and she's having fun and making
Bunch of
money
different
and
sides.
Every side. I told her, I was like, well, if you're going to do it, make an investment. Buy a ring light. Buy the little setups.
The whole thing.
Get you the lingerie sets,
Yep.
you know? So
They're not called whole things, Alan. They're called dildos.
You see that Mitch McConnell dildo that somebody made and they're selling? Oh, that's pretty good.
So yeah, she's doing that, and she was like, "You gonna give me a
So
shout out?"
you feel pretty silly then, sitting there going, "I sell pictures of my feet."
Well, she's making really good money, and I
She's
was
over
like,
there shooting
"Man."
a sequel to The Descent.
My whole thing was that I'm like, dude, if she's making the money she's making, Brian and I have talked about making one, and I'm like, God, we'd be rich.
Why do you think
We'd be
everyone
rich. We'd be so
recommends
rich.
doing that?
But
It's not
here's-
because they're perverts. It's that it can be very lucrative.
Well, and here's the argument that I've had is that like in the business I'm in, I have endorsements and things like that with companies that I don't know would be cool.
And no, I'm not shouting out your sister's OnlyFans
No.
because I'm in the Mary Santora business,
Yes.
not in the Mary Santora sisters business.
Well, it's just one of those things where Brian and I did have a pretty legit discussion about if we were going to do it or not. And I was like, I'm worried about future repercussions.
Yes.
Of people not wanting to work with me or book me or do whatever.
You're already a
because of
public
this.
figure.
Right. And so he was like, I understand, but we would make bank. I said, okay, next pandemic, if everything gets shut down again, we'll do it.
If we're in the house, I'll reevaluate our future.
Right. But yeah, she's doing it. She's got a link in her Instagram if that's something you're into and looking for.
I will take a break here. If you want to text for anything, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com. If you want to watch live, you can, and listen wherever on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WM.